Okay, so Gerrit, we're going to talk now about the songs from the new album. Just tell
Great.
me what's your favorite songs from the new album and why.
Well, it changes, of course, but nowadays, today, I would say it's still Covenant of Grace, just because it's a little bit far out, and we never did a song like that before. And it's a challenging song for the regular metalhead, I guess. And I like it just because it's a little bit different. I doubt that we would have put a song like that on the first 4 or 5 records. But nowadays we're like, okay, we haven't done it before, we do it now. That's why.
I think the reason why you probably done it is because of the album cover. It's probably entwines the darkness with the album title and the cover. Do you think that's why you decided to put that song on this album?
Yeah, also, sure. I mean, it has to do with the ideas for the title song as well, because the story behind Covenant of Grace is like, I thought about how it would be like if you, as a metalhead, would have to be uh, like go through initiation rites to become a part of the metal cult. So that is the story behind that. It would, for me, it would be kind of funny if you like just wanted to listen to Maiden, and then there would be some guy in a robe and say, no, no, no. First you go through this, and you gotta do this and that strange shit, like all the religions on this planet want you to do. And I'm fine with it that the metal guys don't have to do this kind of trials. But in my head, it was just a cool story, so that's why uh, it's a story like that. And of course, as I said, metal to me is kind of holy, and my
It is with me as
religion
well. It
or
is
whatever,
with me as well.
So so I kind of take it serious, but on the other hand, I also mean it tongue in cheek.
Yeah, you've got a great song there, "Leather Spikes and Chains." That takes you back to the really early days of your band.
Sure, but that's also I also have to mention again that it's like kind of based on the stories of the first Carnival record, like these kind of dystopian after World War III, four, or five, or whatever. And this Leather Spikes and Chains song is about a kind of biker gang. I trying to envision if Sacred Steel would be a Mad Max biker gang in a like post World War V whatever scenario, like fighting for each other and all that. Of course, it's total metal cliche, but I just wanted to have at least one, two old school cliche songs on there, or maybe three,
But
so
that's
that it's
great because everybody likes old school. Me, I'm an old school metalhead like yourself.
yeah, yeah, sure. I always say I'm kind of pissed off that nowadays you always have to find excuses for the fact that you want your metal be heavy metal, or that you want to be heavy metal in heavy in your heavy metal. I mean, for example, we have a magazine in Germany called Metal Hammer, and
Yeah,
they always ridicule everything that is kind of true metal or whatever. Since 30 years, they support any kind of bullshit that tries to be kind of heavy, but it's not heavy metal. But the moment that you sing about heavy metal or say, hey, I'm a proud metalhead, they're like, oh, you can't do that, it's not cool or whatever. Fuck you,
fuck you. Yeah,
really, fuck you. I don't give a shit about your fucking opinions. And
yeah.
of course, they never get any of the stuff that I write. In the review for the new record, they kind of say that a song like Leather Spikes and Chains even puts Manowar to shame. Well, of course, if you would know your metal, you would know that Leather Spikes and Chains is a directly taken from Gloves of Metal from the '83 album Into Glory Ride, where Eric sings leather, metal, spikes, and
Yeah.
chains. So I already stole that when we did Sacred Bloody Steel, a song I think we did in the early 2000s, in 2002 or something. I think that was on Slaughter Prophecy. So even back then, I sang Alive of Leather, Spikes, and Chains. So I always try to incorporate stuff that I already kind of did as a nod to the past. And of course, it's a Manowar quote, but the Metal Hammer, a Manowar quote, but the Metal Hammer guys would never get that, because they have no clue about real metal. They have a clue about selling advertisements to, because whatever. I don't want to bitch too much about them,
Yeah.
but because they all only do their job, and I'm friends with at least one guy there. So and I'm part of the business myself, working for Metal Blade. So I don't want to give him a hard time.
No.
But in my opinion, and I bought the first Metal Hammer in '84, and back then, the first Metal Hammer was for me like opening up the Bible. It was like, what the fuck? So many bands.
For me, it was Metal Forces.
Yeah, you took what you could get, and back then there was no internet. I had no clue about fanzines and stuff like that. So when I was 14 and my father gave me the first Metal Hammer, I was like hooked, and I couldn't believe it. But it took me like 1-2 years until I found out. I don't think that I have the opinion they have. Most of the bands that I liked, they didn't like. Like for example, Possessed Seven Churches was like they hated it. They had no clue about stuff like that. They didn't understand Carnivore. They didn't understand Hallows Eve. They didn't understand Hailstar. They had no idea about anything. So I kind of found out I have to go deeper into the underground. And that's when I kind of, since 84, 85, 86, I discovered Rock Hard and other mags in Germany that sometimes you were lucky to get them at some kind of kiosk or whatever. And from then on, don't get me wrong, I still read the Metal Hammer because I get it. But I still have the impression that they have another interpretation of what metal is,
Yeah. So the record label, Ryan Phoenix Music, how do you hook up with those guys?
Well, that's also a thing. We know some of those guys since aeons because they were working for Nuclear Blast, and they are, they have their office right around my corner. I'm living in Donsdorf, which is the place where Nuclear Blast was seated for 25 years. So we know them since aeons, some of those guys. And I ran into the guy who's now taking care of us, Markus Voskin. I ran into him at a small gig around the corner, and he was just asking me what's up with Sacred Steel. And I said, hey, we're looking for a label. And so we kind of talked, and then we met up in the office, and the offer they made us was just impressive. And we said, hey, why not? Let's try to take it a step further and try what we could do with a worldwide distribution that we haven't had since 20 years or so, a real worldwide distribution. So yeah, which I can't start to say praise now because we're just at the beginning of working with them. So with the next record, which is hopefully out in 2 years or so, I know more how they work and if we kind of fit together. But we subscribed for 5 records, so hopefully it works out.
So, I mean, what sort of reviews have you been getting for this new album so far? Have you been getting
not too many yet. It's the frustrating thing is that sometimes we as a band get the impression no matter what we do, we get the same reviews. People that don't get us, even though the playing is totally different to what we did 20 years before. The singing is better. The lyrics are more well thought of, thought through or whatever. They don't give a shit as long as when they see the moniker Sacred Steel in a song like Leather Spikes and Chains, they don't give a shit if Covenant of Grace or Entombed Within the Iron Walls of This or Let the Blackness Come to Me are more interesting or whatever, are not that much of a metal cliche. They don't give a shit. They see the moniker, they see one title and say, well, they do the same shit as usual. And that's kind of frustrating, but what can you do? We could change name. We could wear masks so nobody knows that it's us. We could have a kind of image like Ghost or whatever, but I'm too old for that.
So when are you going to be touring? Are you touring this year? Got any plans?
We play some festivals and we do a tour at the end of the year, but only like 8 to 10 dates. Some European dates, of course. No UK, but as far as I know, some Italy and stuff like that. But we all have our day jobs, so we can't really tour. I mean, that's also a thing. People out there don't give a shit if you are a working guy or not, or doing music for 24/7 or so. You get compared to guys that do nothing but music and touring because it's their life. And we're just a hobby band because we can't afford to be a full-time band. So that's also something that you that's a little unjust, but I know that's just life. What can you do?
Right, Gerrit, I want to thank you for doing this interview. God bless you, my friend, or Satan bless you in your case.
I don't care. Universe bless me or whatever. I
Do you
don't
have
care.
anything to say to anybody watching this on YouTube before we finish?
Well, don't take everything too serious, but take your metal serious, because it's the only thing that binds us together, and it's the most important thing, apart from, well, the love of your family and your beloved ones, that matters in my life, at least. So support the bands you like, go to the shows that you can afford, and try to be a good person.
Brilliant. Well, have a nice day, Gerrit. Have a nice week, and say hello to the guys for me. And
I will. I just have to go to the right now. Thanks, Jason. It was
Thank
a
you,
pleasure.
my friend. Bye-bye.
See you soon.
Cheers.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.